Welcome to another edition of Chris Wrestling Views here on YouTube.com. So today, Tori and I, we're going to be talking about some WWE NXT wrestler that could possibly be making it to the main event roster. And first, we're going to start with Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, he's been WWE's NXT North American champion on and off, back and forth again. He's a great, talented wrestler, and I can possibly see him, coming up to the main card. So I'm gonna let Jatori, share his part on what he thinks about Johnny Gargano making to the main roster, where it's Raw or SmackDown.
I believe that I believe that he should have been called up way maybe last year. He shouldn't have been held back this long.
Right.
But I think he should be called up this year. This year is his time.
I mean, I mean,
He's a nice, fast-paced wrestler, physical wrestler, and that's what the WWE needs.
they definitely do, because as we see, there are not really many technical wrestlers, on Raw or SmackDown right now that WWE can keep on television. So they're kind of just using whoever on the back burner. Like, for instance, what's those guys' name that's gonna face the Hurt Business for the tag titles? I think it was Lindsay Dorado and Grand Metalik. Yeah, them. They've been on the back burner for a while. There was no one for them to to face the Hurt Business um, lately. So they just grabbed them off the back burner and said, "Well, here you go." So next person we're gonna go to is gonna be no other than, I was starting to go to these two guys, Fandango and Tyler Breeze, but they done been on the main roster. Let's go about the guy Adam Cole, former WWE NXT champion. Um, and this guy right here, I really do admire this guy. I mean, he's another pretty cool, talented wrestler. That can get the job done in the ring. Even though he has his buddies Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Um, I mean, I can just see him coming up to. Let me take a guess. I'll say I can see him on SmackDown, in my opinion.
Uh, in my opinion, I could see him on Raw.
Okay.
I think he could play a role on Raw.
I wonder.
I think that's the best show
I wonder
that he would be on.
who would he come after on Raw? Who would he start like a
Ooh,
feud with?
now that's a question. That's a question I don't have. I don't have no answers to.
Well, I
But
mean,
I think
we can always take a wild guess. I can say maybe AJ Styles.
now, yeah. Now I could see
Or Matt Riddle
AJ
again.
Styles or him having a feud with Riddle or Big E. Not
Yeah.
Big E. No, not Big E. Uh, 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 we we just had a conversation about
Shoot, man,
man
I
trying to
forgot.
tip my tongue.
Shoot,
He
dang, we
just
did.
had a match with Drew McIntyre
Right, right.
and then get the win the title.
Right. Shoot. I mean, just depends on what show he goes to. I can definitely, see him on either show, just long as they, continue to, you know, package him the right way and not just underutilize him like some of the former NXT wrestlers that came from that
And
brand.
and that's a good point. Like I said, we'll talk about that part at the end.
Yeah, about all of these wrestlers. Next person I got up is on Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa, former friends with Johnny Gargano, as we mentioned on the first person. Um, he's also a he's also he reminds me of some wrestler. Um, I can't think of who he reminds me of, but I mean he's very strong. He gets the job done in the ring just like the other guys we mentioned. Um, he put it all. He throws it all out on the line. I mean, him. I can say he probably could. He probably could do a great role on Raw, and
And
hopefully.
and I would say the same thing. I was about to say the same thing. I would like him to come and make a great impact against Keith Lee, and that's the name that I was trying to remember.
Uh, yeah,
Uh, Come back and do an impact on Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre right off the bat.
I would love to see Tommaso Ciampa versus Drew McIntyre. That'd be something different.
Because his body build reminds me of Drew McIntyre, and his attitude reminds me of Drew McIntyre when Drew McIntyre gets mad, but he got a heel, a heel attitude
Right, and
of
that and
Drew
that's
McIntyre.
and that's another thing that WWE could definitely use him for, because without all these superstars that are out, some superstars have left and some superstars taking time off. It's not really much Raw or SmackDown could do on the show, but they can definitely use some of these NXT wrestlers that we currently name, and we'll continue to keep naming, who we can possibly see come up on the show within a couple of weeks or months or so. Next person I got is Velvet Teen Dream. This guy right here, he kind of freaked me out at first, but he's another good wrestler. He has that elbow coming off the top rope down pat pretty good. Um, I mean he's like a fighting champion. I mean he's a former WWE NXT North American champion as well. He done feud with Johnny Gargano. If he make it to the main roster between the couple of weeks or couple of months, I could possibly see seeing him on Raw. Maybe he would team up with the New Day or something like that. Who knows? That's just a possible guess. If he had to feud, maybe he'll feud with Shelton Benjamin. Maybe I'm just taking a wild guess on that one, but it'll be a sight to see. So, what you got, Jatori, on Velveteen Dream? On what show would
On
he?
Velveteen Dream, I didn't. Well, two different sides of him. Like when he was the purple Velveteen Dream, I didn't like that side of him. Now when he wore all black, and I kind of like that side of him. Well, I guess you could say that was the heel side of him.
Right.
Now that side they could call that, and if they run with that side, that would be cool. Or if they change it up a little bit, that would work. Um, but Bo Team Dream, I don't. I guess he'll probably be cool with SmackDown.
Okay. Okay. We'll definitely see what's gonna happen. Next guy, don't know much too about. Don't know a lot about him. Only thing I know, he was in Undisputed Era. Um, I mean, I think he won NXT Tag Team Championship before, but this guy's Bobby Fish. Um, I mean, he's still young. Um, he can take a. I mean, he can take one of the spots on either show on the main roster, but he's not really like getting on the mic type person or anything like that, but he could possibly use some of the time for like if WWE needs somebody, then they can definitely put him on TV. Maybe he could be in a match with maybe R-Truth, if I had to guess. But R-Truth is still running around with that 24/7 championship. Or he can be in a match with hmm
Yeah, you was right.
with the Miz. Who knows? I wouldn't know who to match Bobby Fish up with giving him giving him like a decent match. Maybe Ricochet again or something. Who knows?
Uh, to be honest, I kind of think they're gonna they're gonna call the whole undisputed era up.
Well, yeah, might as well just say the Undisputed Era if I run across the name of Roderick Strong or Kyle O'Reilly. So yeah,
Yeah,
you
because
said
cause Bobby Fish, he was tag team champions with Adam Cole
right.
in the undisputed era. So yeah, like you said, um, I think he might. Who you think might need the most tag team champions most? That's the question. That'd probably be the big question.
The big question for the to answer your question, I would have to say probably I'd probably have to say Raw most definitely need more tag teams on their show than SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as a wrestler, I think ooh, I don't know, cause like I said, the Undisputed Era, they were more of like a stable wrestling type.
Yeah.
I can't just point out a single wrestler, except maybe a couple wrestlers, cause they were more of a tag team stable.
Right.
They had more of a technical moves as a tag team stable, uh, in and out tag team, quick tags and interference.
Right.
So if I said I'm in a single matches, I can't really talk about him. I can't. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to the people.
Yeah. Man.
But if I put him in a tag team, then yeah, I'll put him back with his old tag team partners, one of his old tag team partners, and put him into a tag team division.
Okay. Okay. Next person I have on my list would be would be oh man, it's not it's not many. No, I don't think he's gonna come up. No. Let's go with Oni Lorcan. Do you think he'll be called up even though right now he's a NXT Tag Team Champion along with Danny Burch?
Who?
Danny Burch. You know the two guys that been with Pat McAfee that beat Breezan. I think they beat Breezango for the but it's like that. I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, I know who you're talking about. No, I don't think they're gonna get called up because
okay,
I think they're still gonna be in a little feud with Brazango in them.
okay,
Cause they still don't have enough tag teams in NXT to feud for those belts.
makes sense, makes sense. Finn Balor, do you think he's gonna get called back up again to the main roster once again? Cause
I don't think he's gonna get called back up this year for until well at least not until later at the end of the year. If that's if he decides to come back.
but check this out though. You remember did this video where it's reported that that Finn Balor, he wants to face either Pete Dunne or he wants to face Karrion Kross, possibly at WrestleMania this year, which is in, I think it's March 31st, right?
Yeah, but you gotta realize WrestleMania is a event that's tied to all three divisions. That's the big. That's not WrestleMania. Ain't no just okay. SmackDown and Raw. That's all three divisions.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You remember last WrestleMania they had NXT invaded WrestleMania.
Yep.
So Finn Balor could be a special guest and say, okay, I want to challenge Cross for extra money.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing that Finn Balor didn't go back to NXT though, because only thing they were gonna do with Finn Balor was to honestly bury him after he had that feud with the Fiend the last time that I've seen him.
And right now, and the reason why I kind of think he's staying down there is because he's been getting injured so much. Have you noticed he's been getting injured so like literally every match he's injured?
Yep. Most definitely, yeah.
I literally think he's an injury risk because he's wrestling. I'm not saying these wrestlers are bad. These wrestlers are great. I've seen his matches; they're great. It's just he gets injured every match.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every match is either as if he complains about something: his jaw, his legs, he tears something.
I mean, we seen him. Well, we might as well see last week on NXT where he had blood on the side of his face after he defeated um, Kyle O'Reilly.
Right, and yeah, and he broke Kyle O'Reilly's jaw. I wouldn't be surprised if Finn Balor retires early
Man,
because he's hurt all the time.
yeah.
He's
I
hurt
mean,
all the time.
when he defends that championship, I mean, he's probably gonna lose it, but then again, put up a great fight and then win it back and maybe lose it again some kind of way. I don't know.
I don't like I said. I don't know because they'll figure out something. But Finn Balor has always been a great wrestler. They should have gave him a championship when he was up in the main card. I think they did, but
Yeah,
they should have
they
gave him
did.
a long. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, he should have had it longer. That's what I mean.
yeah. I mean,
But
yeah, he was the first Universal Champion when they first came up with the title, and then
right,
he had like a arm or shoulder injury or something. Well, yeah, it was arm
yeah,
injury, so he had
yeah, it
to
was an
give it
arm
up.
injury, and
He had to give it up to Brock
and
Lesnar.
like I said, and that just proves my point again. Injured again, always losing the belt. He's a risk.
Oh man, hopefully not another Goldberg. Hopefully not another Goldberg. Next person I got on my list though is Rhea Ripley. It's been reported that she's possibly could been called up to the main roster. Another person is Damien Priest. That supposed to came on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. Might as well say 2 weeks ago, since it's about to be Monday. 5 minutes before Monday. That Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest are set to get called up to the main roster pretty soon, so we may see them within the coming weeks. In my opinion, Rhea Ripley, great, young, talented wrestler, gets the job done, even though, I think that was the way to write her off television by her losing to Raquel Gonzalez last week in the last women's standing match. And with that match, it was a great match, all the good stuff. But Rhea Ripley, being young, um, trying to make a name, she trying to be a future Hall of Famer, which is something that possibly could happen down the road, and possibly being a champion, maybe coming back on Raw or SmackDown. If on Raw, seeing her face Charlotte once again, and put up an incredible match. Possibly could be at WrestleMania if she comes before then. If not, maybe she would feud with someone else. Just anybody on the roster. Who do y'all think?
I think she should come back to Raw. Oh, hold on, yeah, Charlotte's on Raw, right? Yeah. Wherever Charlotte's at, she should come where Charlotte's at and smack her in her jaw. I think that Ripley, because me and you've been talking about Ripley for a good minute.
Right.
And I always wondered why she ain't been called up. I think she was a little, disappointed about her wrestling skills at that time. But it's her time, and I think she sees that it's her time. That she needs to be in a ring with the best, and on the main event. And the main event is at the main card. And so I think she needs to be where Charlotte, Becky, unfortunately, sometime where Bayley's at. And trust me, I'm not saying Bayley's a bad wrestler. It's just they booked the show where it looks weird.
Right.
And she should get on this, cause a lot of people got to see what I'm seeing. Ripley should have been called up a long time ago. As far as Priest should have been called up a long time ago. He's he's an amazing wrestler.
Oh yeah.
He's an amazing wrestler. I think, a matter of fact, I think he should go to. He should go to SmackDown. I think he should go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I want to see him go up against Shinsuke.
Oh yeah. That'd be.
I want him and Shinsuke to go against that.
Yeah. Or maybe him and Cesaro or somebody. But
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next person would be, let's go, Cameron Grimes. Even though he's annoying, but let's go with Cameron Grimes. Could it be a possibility of moving up to the main roster?
Okay, now if he goes up, I want him and Sami Zayn the tag team.
Oh man, that'd be the most craziest tag team.
I want them to start a faction, and the reason why is because they remind me of each other.
Yeah. Yeah,
their mic skills remind me exactly alike. And if he don't go up, Sami Zayn need to go back to NXT, and still need to start a tag team.
I think he's really going. With him, man. I'm thinking that he's gonna really take up a lot of TV time by talking on the mic in NXT. With I'm talking about Sami Zayn. But with Cameron Grimes, you have to run Cameron Grimes off of their scene or whatever, just to get him to stop talking. So he's always saying, "I'm Cameron Grimes. I'm gonna fly straight up to the moon," and all that mess.
And that's the crazy. And that's what I mean. Look, people will get a gimmick off of that. Imagine them get on a mic and then they just fighting on over the mic.
Right. And I mean that's a good thing. They can talk on the mic, but versus people that can't really speak on the that can't speak on the mic and they just don't have any mic skills. Like a person that I do know, and we all know who that is. Shit. And it's not Lesnar. Uh, Lesnar, but you know, Lesnar can talk if he want to talk. He just chooses not to talk because he has Heyman, before to talk for him, so it makes him easy money. Let's go with Candace LeRae, Johnny Gargano's wife. Could she be a possibility of moving up to the main roster with her husband Johnny Gargano?
I I think she will get moved up with her husband just on that simple fact, and just like Keith Lee and his girl.
Yep.
But if she fails, she'll probably get sent down just as fast.
Possibly. If they could take Mia Yim out, well, going to with Mia Yim though, if they do take her out of the Retribution group, I definitely think that you know they would have someone new to team up with somebody else, or possibly have someone to fight against her because that'd be someone new on the main roster itself.
Well, you gotta understand, the retribution. When she wrestles, she has skills. The thing is, she was more. She had to put Dana Brooks over, and then it had one match where her mask fell off.
I think Brooks need to get sent back to NXT. I mean, need to go to NXT or get sent back one.
Yeah, but they were trying to win the tag team championship.
Yeah, trying, but
And then, so if they break, like you said, if they break retribution, they'll probably give her a chance in a single run. If that fails, like I said, they're gonna send her back to NXT just because they don't have nothing to do with her. Just like that other girl that was in retribution. She went back to NXT because they didn't have no storyline.
yeah, Chelsea Green was that person. That was the other member of the Retribution group before they finally unveiled themselves. Well, I guess we'll go on to the next person. Let's go with what is that guy named? The one that's always staring at everybody. He was the guy that stared at Cameron Grimes. What is his name? I don't remember this guy's name. Oh man, I don't forgot this dude name. It was Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Loomis. That was his name. With Dexter Loomis, I think he could possibly, go to the main roster and just be like the boogeyman, but just staring at people though. He can be down the hallway and then he's just staring at somebody, and somebody looks back and they're Dexter Loomis. I mean, he can play just that type gimmick type character. I'll say on Raw.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. That'll give something, a little bit different. How they had the boogeyman, he'll be in the room or whatever, he'll come up from behind the couch with worms in his mouth, versus, you got somebody that's, staring at you, and they give him, they give Dexter Loomis, you know, like a, like that little gimmick that he has right now, and it'll kind of make things a little bit awkward. Maybe him and the Fiend, or maybe he could be a part of the Fiend's family thing or something like that. Him,
Yeah.
Bo Dallas, and plus Alexa Bliss. So I think that'll make a pretty good team. And if he does that little reverse spider crawling walk thing, that'll definitely be get stable that they can put Dexter Lumis in for sure. Yep.
Okay. Okay. What about Santos Escobar?
Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar. I mean, they do need another wrestler. I can definitely see him fighting, maybe fight Dominic when he returns. But you know, Santos Escobar is a little bit of experience though. I can see him probably feuding with mm, maybe Grand Metalik, or but I really don't see nobody on the roster right now who he can feud with. But there are possible names that most of you probably could see who Santos Escobar could face when he makes his debut on the main roster, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. But yeah, we'll see. It could be a possible name because they start moving a whole bunch of people when you don't even think they're gonna move. Like we can say that like the top four people we can think we can say Rhea Ripley, we can say Damien Priest, we can say Adam Cole, we can say um we can possibly say Karrion Cross, but he just got back to NXT, and there was a time like way before he beat Keith Lee for the NXT Championship, but he had an injury. There was talk that Karrion Cross was going to make it to the main roster, but it didn't happen.
Hmm.
Yep.
What you think about Shane Thorne?
Shane Thorne. Shane Thorne, he's a pretty good wrestler. I seen him in a different promotion. I seen him in one different promotion before. He's a good wrestler, good technical wrestler. And WWE definitely needs plenty of more technical wrestlers that could be a tag team with someone, or be on be on their own with just being a mid card superstar.
Yes. Yes.
So then we got another name here. We could, oh, maybe it's not another name that I could
You think
say.
Scarlett? You think Scarlett should stay where it's at?
That I'm not. That I'm not very sure on. Yeah, that I'm not very sure on. But I think that is all the names that we can see. Yeah, I think that's all the people that we could, possibly see be moving up to the main roster. Comment down below, you guys, on any of the people who you think can make it to the main roster. Whether it's Raw, whether it's Raw or SmackDown from from NXT, because we all know that WWE definitely needs some wrestlers to sign. I mean, to be moved from NXT to Raw or SmackDown as well. So we're gonna see within the coming weeks, or within the next possibly 6 months or so. We're definitely gonna see some of those NXT wrestlers move over to one of the shows. But I really do
Matter of
think.
fact,
Oh, go ahead.
let us know who you think should leave WWE Raw or SmackDown and go to NXT.
Oh man, I can already think of one name now. I can already think of one name now, but I'm gonna say that. And you also had something else that you were gonna say about NXT as well. You said you were going to save it for the end. I don't quite remember what it was.
Oh, you know what? We'll let that one go. We'll let that one go. I want to be nice today. Somebody told me to be nice.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, you guys, make sure you all like, comment, subscribe to my videos, leave comments of what you all want to hear on Chris Wrestling Views. Try to make my videos.
Turn the notification bell on.
Yeah, that too. Um, so our next video is going to be on the WWE Raw preview on tomorrow. Um, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, probably 4:30 Pacific Time, or whenever. Uh, but make sure you check out the video on tomorrow. After Raw goes off air, we're going to be doing the Raw review and reaction of that, and more videos to come throughout this week. So stay tuned on Chris Wrestling Views here on YouTube.com. Thank y'all so much, and we'll see y'all a couple of hours before Raw comes on the air tomorrow night.